There's an age-old adage in showbiz which says once you've been a guest star on The Simpsons, well, you have made it. For me, I'm still waiting for that call. So sorry, I thought I felt it vibrate. But for my guest today, well, it's a very different story. So welcome to this, the very first episode of season 3 of The Guest List, and you find me here backstage at a photo shoot because our film fan today is actually promoting their latest film, so we're going to have a quick sit down with them and discuss some of their magical moments of cinema. Come on. Episode 1, Season 3 of The Guest List brings us a man who's only been in showbiz for a decade but has picked up more statues than you'd find in a museum. He's written 2 of the most respected sitcoms of the past 10 years. He's a stand-up comedian, writer, director, and now lead in a romantic comedy. With 2 new films in the pipeline and another tour confirmed, it's fair to say he's a busy man, but not too busy today to join me on The Guest List. Ricky Gervais, welcome to The Guest List.
Lovely to be here.
Good, it's lovely to have you here. We've got absolutely loads to talk about.
Sorry, let's do that again, because there's a hint of sarcasm.
Okay.
No, I've got to be serious here.
I thought that was serious.
Have you had your teeth whitened?
No,
Sorry,
the beard
let's
makes
go
them look whiter because it's darker.
Okay.
Genuinely.
Yeah, I know.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, wait.
All right.
Let's give him our best shot.
Okay.
Is this all right?
I like that.
I want to look intelligent and directorial.
Uh-huh.
All right, okay, here we go.
Loads to talk about. You've got a new movie out, The Invention of Lying.
That's my directorial debut. I also star in it. I cast millions of people, and I was the best. I gave myself the lead role. I liked me. I thought I was brilliant. It stars me and Jennifer Garner and Rob Lowe, and it's set in a world where the human race hasn't evolved the gene for lying.
Sorry, it's my mom. I think she's probably checking on the date. It won't take long. Hello? Yes, I'm with him right now. No, not very attractive. No, doesn't make much money. It's all right, though. Seems nice. Kind of funny. A bit fat.
Yeah, but...
No, I won't be sleeping with him tonight. Nope. Probably not even a kiss. Okay, you too. Bye. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Don't think twice. How is your mum, all right?
She's all right.
Great. But then I discover I can lie. Now the shoe's on the other foot.
You can't go in there.
I've got an appointment.
Oh, then go right in.
And we wanted this film to be like the funniest episode of The Twilight Zone ever.
I mean, the 80s for me was a great era for film. Music as well, to a certain degree, but film, definitely.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. What is it about that film that you liked?
I think it's nearly perfect as that family blockbuster. I mean, everything about it is exciting. The time travel, the fact that that's been an influence on both Invention of Lying and Cemetery Junction. I love the fact they took the high concept and it was just an excuse to then explore all the things that you usually like to explore in films, relationships.
Hey, don't worry.
A rip-roaring story.
You input your destination time on this keypad.
Maybe learning something, an emotional journey. These are things that films really need.
Hey, you, get your damn hands off.
Oh, I think you got the wrong car, McFly.
George, help me, please.
Just turn around, McFly.
No, Biff. You leave her alone.
I love Hollywood. I think good Hollywood is amazing. But there's a lot of schlock stuff. I mean, it's like they've got the blueprint and they swap the lead actors and actresses. And I think that's through the fact that everyone puts their oar in and it becomes homogenised and amazing. Perfect.
It actually worked. I don't know whether you can use it. It was one of those terrifying moments where I thought, is that in my head? Because it's so unlikely. It's so
I
unlikely.
can create music just by talking. Yeah, I'm going to start humming Beatles songs. This interview cost them £2 million.
Hey, I got a funny story about Back to the Future, which ties into what you were saying. Famously, Universal, the head of Universal at the time, wanted to call it, didn't like the name, wanted to call it Spacemen from Pluto. And to avoid this happening, Steven Spielberg
He wrote
actually...
him a letter, didn't he?
Yes.
That's it. Is that the thing that he pretended it was a joke, didn't he? That what a great gag. We were all laughing, and then he just didn't say it. Is that true? That's lovely.
Yeah. Have you ever had to do anything like that? Have you ever actually had to put your back up and go?
Yeah,
look?
I'll tell you, it was a television project. It was in the edit. I won't say what the project was, but it was early days, and the editor said, "Oh, we've got a few notes from the exec producer. He wants to do this, 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 and this." I went, "Okay, send it back as it is, and say, is this any better?" And he sent it back unchanged, and we got a note back saying much better.
Oh my God.
Didn't even look at it, because sometimes they just want to be involved. They want to think that they've got a say.
But you did do Ghost Town, which, while it isn't obviously one of these mainstream, mass-produced romantic comedies, is something you only had a limited control over because you were just an actor in that.
I died for 7 minutes.
A bit less.
You're sick.
Is this a bad time?
Leave me alone.
Bless you.
I was on board first. David kept wrote with me in mind, I think, and he let me in on the casting decisions, and we even did a rewrite. He flew over to England, and we spent a few days rewriting it to fit me. It was already very much like my voice anyway.
I was going to ask, Bertram Pincus, is there a lot of you?
Oh, absolutely.
Profession?
Irrelevant.
Food allergies?
I'm not going to be eating here.
Are you allergic to sticking plaster?
What a ludicrous question. I'm not answering any more of these, really.
Do you smoke?
Stop it.
Do you wear dentures?
Madam, listen.
When was the last time you ate?
Ah, a pertinent question, at last. I don't usually read scripts. I turn them down. I've turned down 150 scripts. I've probably turned down about 50 films. Not because they were all bad, half of them were, but because I was busy. The joy for me isn't just being in lots of movies and seeing my fat face on the screen. If it's not my idea, I don't want to do it, really. And now I've come to love acting and directing, and producing's fun as well. But it's all to do with the initial idea, really, and seeing that through.
It seems to be something that you've done in areas that no one else has done it. I mean, for example, the Simpsons episode that you were a guest voice on, you're the first person, and I think still the only person, who's guest voiced and written an episode.
I think that's because they'd done about 500 and they thought, oh, we've run out of ideas. They called me up and said, you got any ideas? I went, I've got a few. When do you want to write it? Yeah.
This is Charles. You can call me Charlie, but do not call me late when there are scones about. Little British humour.
Whoever's name's on the end, it's a big co-write, and it goes through all their writers, so that's slightly different. I did write the song. That was all mine, which was fun.
Oh, who left this here? Did I tell you I'm a bit of a songwriter? Words and music, hold the applause.
But no, just to be part of that process was amazing. I mean, just being asked, I'd already won. Do you know what I mean? Do you want ice cream, by the way?
I was going to say, I'll have a feast.
Because you've been a good girl, I'm going to get you a flake. You're going to tell me you're not a girl, aren't you?
I'm not a girl.
Doesn't it look like Winona Ryder in one of those films where she has to pretend to be a man to get a job?
You haven't really...
You used to be such a pretty girl.
I've grown a beard.
And now you grow a beard and put a suit on. It ruined half my material.
I know. And I was very aware of that as I was growing it. Day by day, I thought, when this interview comes around, he's not going to be able to call me a little girl anymore. But you still did. Thank you.
I should explain that I've known you for many, many years.
Yep.
I'm not just a dirty old man who came in and started saying to a presenter, "Are you a lovely girl? Oh, why don't you shave the beard and pop on a dress?"
Yeah. It makes me look dignified.
It does. No, it works.
I keep doing this a lot.
It works, and your teeth look whiter, and can we get some glue? One of his eyelashes has actually dropped off now. Listen, I used to be a pretty boy.
I remember, yeah.
Look at this. Make the most of it.
Right, that's it for part one of the guest list, but join me in part two when we're going to be hearing more from Ricky Gervais.
A family...
Hello and welcome back to today's guest list. I'm Alex Zane and I'm talking films with Ricky Gervais. Now, you've been really busy recently, haven't you? When you do relax and you do watch a movie, where do you do that? Do you go to the cinema?
I don't go to the cinema anymore.
No?
No. Very good reason.
Go on.
I hate people.
They're annoying. They're eating popcorn, they're on their mobile phones. They're poking me in the back of the neck.
It's because...
It's odd, though. I do understand what you mean. I've experienced what you're talking about. You go to the cinema, and surely you're there to be engrossed in a film.
That's cost $100 million, and someone has sort of, wrenched his heart out to put this art on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then someone's...
Kissing. When a cinema puts sofas on the back row for couples so they don't have to sit in individual chairs, there's no arm in the middle so they can do whatever. You're catering for someone who isn't really there to watch the movie as much as to do icky stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, I probably go to the cinema, once or twice a year, and that's probably at the premiere of a film I was in. Now, obviously, I've become a recluse, just in case someone recognises me. That awkward, oh no, they know I'm on the telly, what do I do?
What do you do? Do you run? Have you started running?
No, I don't. I'm a bit better with it now, because I just think, what's the worst that can happen? I remember when I first became famous, I wondered why people were looking at me. Oh yeah, I'm on the telly. And then the first time someone said, can I have your autograph? I went, really? And they were taken aback by that. So I'm always polite and I'm always gracious, but I'm the embarrassed one. I don't know what to say. I don't know. They know me, but I don't know them.
It's an interaction where they're expecting something from you because they assume that you're on familiar turf, when in reality, you have no idea what to do in that situation.
And I don't know what to say. I don't really know what they want from me. And I've started trying to act normally now, but that can be shocking as well, because the way I talk to friends is different to, a stranger coming up. I always knew that fame would be weird, and I always feared it. I feared it for a couple of reasons, really. I feared it because I thought, oh God, journalists are going to be going through my bins, but I didn't want to be lumped in with those celebrities who want to be famous. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it to be clear that it was an upshot of what I do, as opposed to just wanting to be recognised per se, because that's the worst bit. Being recognised is the worst bit. There are perks of fame, obviously being on telly and in films. You get more money. You get money for old rope, and that's good. And you get access to things you wouldn't have access to. But just being recognised and bothered in restaurants, that's the worst part of the deal.
You've made your first sequel recently, Night at the Museum 2. A sequel better than the original.
I've dabbled with Hollywood before.
Do you like it like that, though? Do you like it where, obviously, Ben Stiller, you work with him on extras.
Well, exactly. The movies I've taken were for other reasons than to, climb a career ladder or get a stepping stone into something else,
But it must make it more pleasant for you, because you're working with someone who you know outside it, and it is a cameo. It's that you walk on and you do your stuff.
Well, if it's not my idea, I need more than one reason to do it.
Right.
So the first film I took was a cameo in For Your Consideration. That was a no-brainer. Christopher Guest, hero of mine, biggest influence on my work. He wanted me to be part of that ensemble. It's yes. When do you want me? And I went along, and that was 3 days of ad-libbing and mucking around. So it was great. That was a joy. The second film I did was Night at the Museum, and that was returning the favour to Ben being an extras. He sent me an email. He said, hi, got a part for you in my new movie. Do you want to return the favour for me being an extras? No pressure. And so, and that was a couple of weeks' work, and I said, I really can't do it. They cut the part right down nicely. Not many actors cut their lines. So I had a couple of days, and the second time, again, they said, we want you back for the sequel. And that was like 8 days' work, and I said, I just can't do it. I only had a couple of days because I was filming Invention of Lying. So I flew over, and I did all my scenes on a weekend. But I've promised that I'll be around if they do a third one, because it's not what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not really an actor for hire.
And
so
I guess Stardust fits into that as well. That was.
You want to do 2 days on Stardust? All your scenes are with Robert De Niro? Yes. Tick.
Brilliant. Like they're cheap.
Still tray fresh. So, name your best price.
Hold on, Cuddles. 160. 160.
Seeing as I'm feeling particularly generous today, I'll settle for 200.
200. Okay. You're having a laugh. Have you had your head in that? Has he been saying that where the air's too thin?
And Steve went, you can ask him to be an extra. And I went, of course. So I have to have lots of reasons to get out of bed if it's not my project. As simple as that, really.
I know Francis Ford Coppola is another director who you like the work of, in particular The Godfather.
One and two, they're hard to separate. But if I had to, I'd probably say Godfather 1. I know it's generally considered the only sequel to be better than the first, but it's perfect for me. Godfather 1. It's like an opera. It looks wonderful. The writing's obviously fantastic. The cinematography is some of the best ever. The story is amazing.
Is this how you turned out a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman? What can I do? What can I do? You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good. Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
I didn't really like gangster films. I didn't like that genre. I don't know why, it sort of left me cold. And I actually saw Goodfellas when it came out, and I was blown away. I've been a fan of Scorsese for a long time before that. He's probably done 5 in my top 20 favourite films, and I was blown away by it. And that made me start thinking of the genre more, and I revisited, and I hadn't seen Godfather. I didn't watch Godfather till about 1992 or 3, and I just thought, I've been an idiot. And now, if someone hasn't seen The Godfather, I'm jealous, because they're going to have that experience again. And I've seen it 20 times, and I can't remember a filmic experience like it. I mean, this is not a revelation. Everyone knows it's one of the greatest films ever made. But it changed me. You know, I just thought there was just something about it. It got under my skin.
What about British gangster films? Do you like them as well?
Yeah, they're brilliant. It's funny, we were casting for Cemetery Junction, okay? And we were looking to find people like the new James Dean, the new John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. You know, we were thinking, where are all these guys? Where are these men's men? Where are the Paul Newman and Robert Redfords? Where are the Steve McQueen's? Yeah, no metrosexuals. We didn't. Well, you're not metrosexual. You are, as we know, a girl in drag. But and then we started casting for these guys. And if we saw 1,000 men of about 23, 24, half of them were going to be Mr. Darcy, right? The other half were going to be going, you cut some claret everywhere, you. Do you know what I mean? And we're thinking, we honestly think we found the only 2 actors that were both cool and, and working class and sort of like fun to be around. I remember the first time I was walked through the special way in an airport. They went, they've sent the VIP, and they walked through me and my girlfriend, and my head was down, and I was thinking all these people are looking at me going, who does he think he is? And it just felt terrible. Second time I went, where's that bloke who walked us through the last time? You know, that's a lovely entrance.
So do you watch films on planes then?
I do. That's when I catch up with films. I catch up with films in 2 ways. Obviously, I get sent all the For Your Consideration films. So I get every film that's ever released and put into the Oscars or BAFTAs, which is great. Or I watch it on planes. And I say to Steve, I go, oh, you're right about the film, I saw it. I said, where'd you see it? I said, on a plane. He went, I don't want to talk about it. He went, that's exactly how they meant it to be watched, on a 4-inch screen. He went, don't talk to me about it, Gervais. You're an idiot. See, he's a film buff, and I'm not a film buff at all.
But you are missing out. I mean, we're in an era of HD, where everything's glorious.
But does that enhance the nuance? Does that enhance the story? No.
I watched Watchmen on a plane recently.
Well, don't watch Watchmen.
Right,
that's your first mistake.
But they cut. I mean, it's a movie that's based on a lot of sex and violence, and all that was cut out. They don't tell you that.
Why do you want to watch sex and violence? Just walk down the street.
Because
I want a filming experience. I want to be drawn into a wonderful love story. I don't want to see someone in some weird leather outfit with beamy eyes having sex with a blue woman. Why do you want that?
That's why we're different
Your
people.
favourite film, it's as good as written.
I'm visualising that right now, and it's a pleasant image. Ricky, thank you for being on the guest list.
My pleasure.
So there you have it, the fantastic Ricky Gervais, a film fan, no doubt, as long as the film in question is being shown on a plane, or the very first member of our Movie Mile High Club, if you will. That is it for this edition of the guest list, but join me next time when another fan of cinema discusses their favourite films. Until then, take care. I'm going for a shave.
Alex Zane's guest list is showing every Thursday night at 10 past.